Is the responsibility on you to make it work now?
Yes, I think coming into Super League, it's very important that the capital represents the southern part of England and does it honourably. And 100 years of tradition in the north and figuratively 100 days in the south means that we've just got to get our act together quickly.
And you've got a very heavy financial investment in this, haven't you?
Yes, well, we've put a lot of money in because we honestly think that it's going to work. And with Super League going around the world, 140 million television sets next year, we think there's going to be wonderful exposure for London and for the game.
But although rugby league has been here for quite some years, it's never had an established base. Now, it looks as though London Broncos will have an established base at Charlton. Does that suit you?
Oh yes, we're delighted with Charlton. A brand new stadium, wonderful facilities for the families, for mums, and we're looking forward to playing there. We play next week, of course, against Wigan at Brentford, but thereafter we play at Charlton till the end of next year.
So what importance do you attach to that sort of family atmosphere, which rugby league has in the north? Can it develop it here?
Well, I think it's the most critical factor. We want the mums and dads, we want the family to come out, we're going to price our tickets accordingly, and we want to give them 3 and 4 hours of entertainment, particularly in summer, because next year, as you know, Super League's played in summer.
Of course, London Broncos have this very strong Australian influence. Is that something that you really want to have, or would you like to widen it out a bit more?
Well, we're widening it out. We've actually signed up 3 players in the last month. Our seconds are made up of Englishmen, and we're leading the table there. We just didn't want to put our young English players in at the level that we're seeing this afternoon because it would destroy their confidence. So for a while we're going to have a fairly strong contingent of Australians, but in 3 years' time I want the majority of the players to come from the south of England.
So what efforts are you making now to get young local players into the game?
Well, we have a recruitment officers. We have half a dozen recruitment officers who are going out into schools, and we're trying to slowly spread the word in the missionary spirit in the south, and we'll get there. It's not easy, but we'll get there bit by bit, because there's a lot of athleticism in the south, and we want to tap it.
Are there any signs of success?
Yes, actually we've got a couple of very promising young lads signed up, and we think we might have a future Martin of Fire on the wing too, by the way.
Oh, we look forward to seeing that. And what about your own background? Obviously Australian originally, now living in London?
Yes, I was one of the people that started the Brisbane Broncos, and we shifted over here a couple of years with our investments, and now we're living here, and we're hopeful of getting London up to a state of respectability as far as this game is concerned, particularly as we go on the global sphere next year.
And you're not bothered that there won't be another London Rugby League side to play?
Oh no, I've got exclusivity until year 2001, but I don't think that's important. I think we've got to get Paris strong and Cardiff and these other places, and then we're going to have intercity rivalry next year in the Super League format, and I think that's going to be quite exciting.
And in a word, what would you say your goal is?
Well, the goal is to get in the top 4 next year, which will then get us into the world playoffs. If we do that, we've done very well.
The signs look promising?
Well, at the moment we're 5th, and we lost the first 4 games on the trot. So we're not. This team we're playing today is a very strong team, and we're still pretty young and we're still learning. So I think by this time next year I'll be quite confident.
It would be nice to have a derby game, if not a London derby game, a London-Paris derby game.
Yeah, that would be lovely. We're playing Paris on Bastille Day. Can you think of a more appropriate time to play them? So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, heads will roll. Yeah. Very good luck to you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Broncos' first ever appearance on grandstand, and many of those fans making their first visit here to the Stoop. Youngsters no doubt think of Harlequins and think of Will Carling and Brian Moore, but I'm sure older league followers will think of Adrian Alexander and former Great Britain star Tom Danby, both of whom started their careers here with the Harlequins. Good following of supporters from Halifax. Quite a lot of youngsters came down on the coaches, 1 or 2 of them there. The Broncos and Halifax, of course, met in a championship game 2 weeks ago, but when Richard Duckingfield spoke to Broncos coach Gary Grenke, he felt that result would have little bearing on today's.
The game we played against Halifax 10 days ago won't count for much today because they've got a fair few different players in their side, a lot better players. The standard of that game was pretty slow. Everybody looked like they were playing at half pace, and I think the intensity of the game today is going to be fairly fast.
Cup games are always different. They're tougher, they're harder. It's if you get beat today, there's no tomorrow. But on the other side of that, we have got a lot of players back since that game.
Unless it starts teaming down, we intend to play an open flowing game, but we'll have to see what the weather holds.
Well, both teams I think want to play football, and that's what this game's all about. Teams that are willing to go out there, take some chances, and at the end of the day, hopefully come up with some points on the board. I don't think we've taken a lot of chances, but we'll certainly be trying to play entertaining football, which we do at Halifax, and at the end of the day, hopefully we've got more points on the board than London.
In a couple of hours' time, hopefully we're laughing and looking forward to the next round, but that's 80 minutes of hard work away.
It is a tough tie, but the bonus is if you can win today, your name's in the hat on Monday, and you never know, there's a lot of clubs in lower divisions still in there.
The Broncos have not got the best of records in the Regal Trophy, only moving past the first round on 3 occasions and twice in the past 8 seasons going out in the preliminary rounds. But the visitors' record is not all that much better, but at least they do have a final appearance there in 1990 against Wigan, and incidentally beating London on the way. And just that one previous meeting between the sides, Halifax wing Wilf George collecting a hat-trick of tries in that 32-18 victory. Halifax came down yesterday afternoon, had a light run out, and feeling a strong side. But Brisbane Broncos have been going really well here at the Stoop Memorial Ground. I saw them play against St Helens and Warrington, and as both coaches said, they do play a very attractive style of rugby. Plenty of tries in scores, I think.
The changes for the Halifax side, if you're ready now.
Pitch in perfect condition for running rugby. And it's those Broncos halves, Ben Walker and Leo Dinover, who have been the inspiration behind the Londoners. 84 points between them this season. But the Halifax side, I think, will have that solid, dependable, best of British pack out there. Carl Harrison, John Fieldhouse and Paul Moriarty. They will be the ones trying to blunt the Broncos' attacking edge.
Carl Harrison. Number 9, Paul Moriarty. Number 10, John Fieldhouse.
Terry Matheson, the Broncos skipper, former New South Wales and Brisbane Broncos pack leader, joining the Londoners this season. And John Schuster, we saw him as the Western Samoan captain in the World Cup, ex-All Black, and a prolific point scorer in that blue and white hoop jersey for Halifax. Referee Colin Morris from Huddersfield also came down yesterday to acclimatise himself, a Grade 1 referee for 6 seasons. The rain just holding off. We've had intermittent bouts of rain this morning, but the pitch in very good condition. Perhaps a little more grass on a rugby union pitch, as one would normally have on a league pitch, but ideal for this match. Halifax set to kick off. Referee Mr Morris just waiting for the bucket of sand and the little mound that seems obligatory now. Dinover, one of the attacking midfielders for this Broncos outfit. Good ball player, good passer of the ball. We'll see a lot of him in midfield. And we're underway. Both sides, Joe, like to play attacking rugby. Plenty of tries, do you think?
I should think so, yeah. It's ideal conditions for the game. And as you said, both teams have pledged an open style of play with few mistakes.
Broncos then, in possession. Russell Borden driving in. Peter Gill, former St George player down under. And again, Borden again slipping it there to second row partner Gill. Good play by the Broncos. Ray moving it well to Dinover. Dinover to Walker. Walker puts the kick, just a tester on the Halifax fullback. Michael Umanga, one of the former Western Samoan World Cup stars.
I think, Ray, the Broncos side made great yardage in that first set of 6, and they'll be very enthused by that.
It was also an excellent set of 6 too. They had everything in there. They had good forward support, into passing between the forwards, making good yards, and then a backline shot and a good kick chase. It was a perfect start really for the London Broncos.
Just 2 points in the championship between these two sides. Halifax 4th in the league, Broncos 5th in the league. Wayne Parker. And this will be a testing little run here for Ikram Butt. He's been out for quite some time with a hamstring injury. England international on the wing, signed from Featherstone Rovers. Cochrane coming in field. Good, strong, powerful wingman, Evan Cochrane. And down there on the bench we have Richard Duckinfield.
Yes, Ray, the forecast is not very good for this afternoon. The forecast quite heavy rain. At the moment it isn't raining, so conditions, I think as Joe was saying earlier, absolutely perfect. There's a very light southwesterly wind, the pitch in absolutely marvellous condition.
Terry Mattison looking for support, he finds Chris McKenna, the big back. Oh, it's a good run there for Tony Ray! And the hooker, superb support play. He might well have that smile on his face. Tony Ray. He was out for most of the early part of this season with injury. He came back with a bang about a month ago, and there he is for the first try. Broncos 4, Halifax 0.
Yes, it was loose forward Terry Mattison who dummied inside in the first attempt, finally found the centre there, number 3 McKenna, and it was splendid support play by the hooker there, Tony Ray, to score the first try for the Broncos.
I think McKenna was quite surprised to find himself in so much room. There was support on the inside and they've managed to get the pass away. I was surprised to see the lack of defence from Halifax, covering on that inside pass, the inside ball. Quite an easy try in the end.
In fact, Joe, the forwards were actually bunched together away from the play of the ball. There was not much cover there at all.
There were 3 Halifax players actually took Terry Mattison. None of them put him to ground. None of them managed to clamp the ball, and that's what resulted in the try.
So Terry Mattison with the attempt at the conversion, and he's missed it. Well, not the most difficult of kicks, but one kick that might come back to haunt him a little later. 4-0 for the Broncos.
Yes, this player Mattison, he'll be a feature of today's game. He just probes the defence. The Halifax players do not take him out of the game. McKenna's in support, and Tony Ray, obviously a good support player, collects the points.
As Gary Grenke said before kick-off, they do entertain these Broncos. They've averaged 8 tries a game in their last 8 matches, but unfortunately as well, they do concede plenty of tries, over 338 points conceded in the championship. And a knock-on. And that's a bad mistake. Losing the ball, Broncos number 8, Tony Mestrov. How often do we see this from kick-offs? A side just having scored, confident, a little overconfident. Halifax then in possession. Asa Amoni, Tongan, Michael Jackson. Carl Gillespie from the old Groslians, a local rugby club up there in Halifax. A recent signing in the past 12 months. Wayne Parker distributing. Craig Dean. Paul Moriarty, we saw a lot of him for Wales in the World Cup, a stalwart down there. Carl Harrison, another stalwart in the World Cup. England prop, number 8. Broncos in defence here. Wayne Parker puts the pressure on Cochrane. Well, at least he caught the ball. At least there was no silly, nothing silly given away. A drop out beneath the post.
Yeah, Halifax is putting good pressure on the Broncos with a splendid little kick through from Wayne Parker and a good chase. That will enthuse the Halifax coach, Steve Sims.
Both coaches, Joe, were talking about mistakes early on, and all this pressure on the Broncos has come from one mistake, hasn't it?
That's trying to drop ball from the kick-off. Having scored the try, 4 points, they then lose possession in their own half, and they give Halifax a great chance to come back and reply with some points of their own.
Halifax then still pounding on the attack. Paul Moriarty looking for a way through, out wide there. And a penalty for lying on. Have to play the ball. Referee Colin Morris, he wants a quick play of the ball.
Paul Moriarty trying to get up quickly to play the ball, to keep the momentum going of the Halifax attack. Push to the ground, and the referee decides a penalty is in order.
And Evan Cochrane, who took a knock behind the line. Former Sydney Tigers player down there in Australia. So first attempt from Halifax skipper John Schuster, and no better man to take the kicks and goals. 362 points, a record in 94-95 for the club, and 52 goals this season. Hardly a breath of wind out here at the Stoop, just light intermittent rain coming down. Not a lot of distraction for this ex-All Black. Schuster, but he's missed it. So a miss apiece for both sides. Score remained the same. Broncos 4, Halifax 0. Denver with the dropout. Good catch by Amanga. Michael Amanga signed after the Rugby Union World Cup. He's certainly come into this game of rugby league very, very quickly. And once again, another decision going against the London Broncos for holding on at the play of the ball. Well, the Broncos have given 3 penalties away and put all this pressure on them, Terry. They have, Ray. They've started very well, but the last few minutes they've just lapsed their defence and concentration, and Halifax have picking up the baton and are now pressing hard. Carl Harrison driving down the middle, as I said, using the pack of forwards, testing the Broncos' defence. Nice switch from Parker there with Dean. John Bentley. Strong lad to put down is Bentley. Michael Jackson, one of the Halifax forwards, blessed with the real speed, real pace in the second row there.
I think one of the key issues today, Ray, we've mentioned that both teams like to play attractive football, but I think Halifax will be looking to have a grounding first with Paul Rowley and Wayne Parker distributed the pack before they send it out to the backs.
Well held there, and he's lost the ball. So, relief for the Broncos. Paul Hoff, the tall, long-striding Australian fullback. Craig Green. Nice burst down the blind side, but is he going towards that touchline? No. He is. Well, referee just having a word with Mr. Davis.
I think we saw Green going to the touchline, Ray, and a little bit of an infringement here, and the touch judge spotted it.
Again, a holding down incident. Tony Ray having a difficult ball to deal with there, and an even more difficult ball there. 1 or 2 passes going astray, but Broncos, that's better now. Driving in. But good tackling there from Jackson. Denver looks for support, he finds it with Walker. Ben Walker, former Aussie schools player. Darren Shaw, a member of the Scotland squad in the Emerging Nations tournament. Mestrov. Good drives there by the Broncos on the 5th tackle. Denver. Oh! John Bentley caught the ball there well, but then stepped back into touch, and that should be head and ball for the Broncos.
Very unlike John Bentley, makes sure of the ball first, security, steps back, doesn't realise how close he is to the touchline, and that's really quite a bad mistake.
Walker misses out to Hoff, finds McKenna. Very big, powerful centre, this McKenna, former Queensland Crushers. Matteson, McKenna again. Little bit of indecision there from the Broncos. Denver, Walker, cuts back inside. Oh, another little gap there for him. Denver again, good switch to Matteson. Oh, inside to Gill. Gill can't get away. That's a good tackle. But still, the pressure on this Halifax line. Back again to Shaw. Oh, good slip inside. And the stuff is over. Tremendous combination between the prop forwards. might well he hug his front row teammate. That was good play from the Broncos. And Tony Mestroff grabs his first try of the season. Again, sloppy defence from the Yorkshireman.
Good play with the Broncos, again living up to the promise of open flowing football. Shaw managed to get the short pass away through crowded players, and Mestroff dives over for the try.
Great forward play here. The number 10 Shaw straightens up past the 9 Rowley, and it's Mestroff there in great support. A feature of this Broncos play is the great support.
Matteson then with a second attempt. He was a prolific point scorer down under, still holds the Brisbane Broncos point scoring record in a season. And that's how he did it. Good 2 points there from Matteson. Edges the Broncos out even further. 10-0.
The dummy one way, finds Shaw inside, the step through and then almost a tunnel through the Halifax defence, and Mestroff in support just crossing the line.
Yeah, I'll do a piece of shot.
The Broncos have never won any knockout trophy in the club's 15 years existence, but certainly looking a very confident bet to get towards the £60,000 prize at stake here in the Regal Trophy. Ikrambuck, back to Ray.
There's so many Australians in this team, Ray. They're playing a very open game. We're used to stereotype rugby, but this has been very enterprising.
Again, here we see interference. Russell Bowden couldn't play that ball properly. Colin Morris is certainly after a very quick play the balls, Joe.
Yeah, he's trying to speed the game up, and rightly so. As we've mentioned on several occasions now, they're both trying to play attractive, fast football. The referee's helping by clamping down early and making sure that they have that.
Evan Cochran, the Broncos number 5, is having fairly regular treatment on the pitch. He took a knee in the back about 5 minutes ago. It's quite a serious injury. They're trying to keep him moving so that he doesn't effectively stiffen up, because they want Cochran, that's the Broncos number 5, to stay on the pitch.
But it's Broncos still applying the pressure. Paul Hoff coming in now, gaining in confidence from the full-back position, and these two props, well, running well, but a slip there from Terry Matteson. But still plenty of experience in this Halifax pack. This is what I think Halifax should do. Use the forwards for 5 or 10 minutes. Over 29 Great Britain caps in there.
They must use the forwards on attack, but on defence they must clamp the ball. They have to stop the Broncos from releasing the ball out of the tackle to the support players. That's been the biggest problem for Halifax at the moment.
Well, Steve Sims not in a very happy mood at the moment, the Halifax coach. They certainly prepared well. They trained at Thrum Hall yesterday morning, travelled yesterday afternoon, had a light run out, and they arrived very, very early here. They had a good walk around the Stoop Memorial Ground. Ikrambuck, a very powerful player, only 5'9", but very strong. And here's one at the other end of the ruler, 6'7", Paul Hoff. But looks to be running okay, been seriously troubled with a hamstring. Darren Shaw. Mr. Morris getting Halifax right back. Oh, good dummy by Ray. Nice to get the slip pass away. Good rugby by the Broncos. Out to Walker. He's got McKenna inside him. Oh, McKenna's got Gill. And Cochran. Slip pass. Oh, Denham just couldn't take that pass. But superb rugby by the London Broncos. 4 or 5 quick passes there in 9 or 10 yards. But it's Halifax who come away with the ball. And this is better now. Well, stamping at the play the ball. Ferretti to Ilangi. Mr. Morris wants all the other players away. He's not very, very happy with that. And certainly some damage there to the Broncos player. Mr. Morris wanting a word with the two captains. He's a little concerned about the stamping on the floor here, whether it was deliberate or accidental. Well, it's a matter of judgment, Joe, isn't it?
Well, they actually said to the linesman when he came on, I heard the referee say, I wasn't sure whether it was deliberate or not. That is the big issue here. He did stand on him, he did catch his ear, Tulagi, with his boot on the player on the floor, but it's whether that was deliberate or not.
I think, Ray, the culprit has been put on report to the league. The video will be out early part of the week to see just exactly what happened there.
Yes, Mr. Morris with the crossed hands, signifying that the player will go on report. The disciplinary committee and Greg McCallum, the referee supremo, he'll check the video, and early next week will be told exactly what happened.
The message seems to have gone out from the Halifax coach, Steve Sims, to clamp the ball and also to get a player round the back to stop this ball coming out to the support players. They're having one player that trails round behind the tackle.
Broncos still on the attack. McKenna looking for support. He finds it there with Russell Borden. But good clamping of the ball, as you said, Joe, there from hooker Paul Rowley. Shaw to Denver. Denver finds Walker. Hoff cuts inside, can't get away. Moriarty just managed to get an arm there. Good tackle by Gillespie. 15 metres from this Halifax line. And Walker, well, I thought he was looking for a drop. Applies the pressure. Good catch. Excellent catch from Mike Gamagna. I know it's very early days, Joe, just 18.5 minutes gone, but that was wide open for a drop goal, wasn't it?
It was. He obviously thought that the wing attack was on with the high ball. They're trying again down this right-hand side now, the Broncos.
What a slip again, giving Broncos yet another chance. Good run from Russell Borden. Denver. Gill back to Denver again, finds Walker. Walker always lurking around with Denver. These two in the middle, the two halfbacks, Denver and Walker. They are making this Broncos side tick. Mattison, short pass to Mestov. Mestov, he's got Cochran with him. Can he get into the corner? Oh, he does! He gets it down in the corner there. The try is given, and London Broncos go further in the lead. Superb handling at the corner. It was quick into passing, and McKenna just had the strength and the size to get down in the corner there before he broke the corner flag.
Splendid play again here from the Broncos. Forwards up the middle, and the backs in support into McKenna there, and he had the power and the strength for a great try.
It's the little short pass. Once again, supporting play. Cochran looked like he was held and wasn't going very far, and then the short ball had not much room on the touchline and just in at the corner.
McKenna doing well to put that ball down there. Vain attempt from Wayne Parker, the Halifax scrum half, to hold him. And a good decision by the touch judge, Tony Brown, there. So Terry Mattison with the kick right out on the touchline, but as I said earlier, hardly a breath of wind here at the Stoop. Oh, just to the outside of the post. A good strong kick, but lacked the accuracy. But I think Mattison will be happy with that. 14 points to 0.
Splendid interpassing here by the Broncos yet again. The Halifax defence doesn't move up, and when it does, it doesn't complete the tackles. Bit of slipshod tackling, and in goes McKenna. He's made one and scored one already.
Chris McKenna, a former loose forward in his younger days. I think we saw something of that forward strength there at the corner. Peter Gill. Broncos running confidently, but offside. Yes, the Broncos offside. Not very often we see that, Joe. The team in possession offside. But that's an indication of the game already, isn't it? 71% in London Broncos' favour.
They have a lot of possession. The penalty was given there. Terry Mattison was hanging offside of the play of the ball, was waiting for his own players to advance level with him, and the referee was well spotted and gave the penalty to Halifax.
So John Schuster having another attempt, I think quite sensibly, just coming up to 22 minutes gone, looking to put some points on the board. Captain of the Western Samoan side in the recent World Cup, much travelled player, former All Black, and had a spell with the Newcastle Knights down under, now resident at Drumhall and scoring a lot of points for them. 52 goals so far this season. And really, he needs to pull one back here to put some confidence in the Yorkshireman. He does. So Halifax at last gets some points on the board. That will be a little bit of a lift for them. 14-2 now for the Broncos. Quite a lot of Halifax youngsters travelled down. Quite a fleet of coaches they put together. They'll be looking for better things in the next hour.
Yeah, the possession percentages there illustrate well just how big the Broncos' domination is at this stage of the game, Ray.
Robbie Moore, the Broncos football manager, a very decent start. Hang on, let's see. We were saying, Robbie, a very decent start, but not in the next round yet.
No, not quite yet. It's a little bit early, but probably the most impressive thing so far has been our defence. We're on the attack now, but we started well. We scored a few tries, but
Hold it up.
So Halifax with a surprise attack here. Wayne Parker trying to push John Bentley in the corner. Bentley going for the line, and John Bentley's in. Good movement there. Wayne Parker spotted the gap out wide. John Bentley just had to use his weight and his strength in for his 10th try of the season, and possibly for John there, one of his easiest. The Halifax supporters there, I think, just saying all we have to do is move the ball around. Well, they've done just that.
It was a Paul Rowley break that started this movement, and a splendid pass out there to John Bentley, England winger, very strong. He collects the points.
Yeah, Wayne Parker, with the long ball over the top, realised that the Broncos defence had moved up, and there John Bentley left on his own, and he's not going to miss chances like that.
Here it is. Good passing between the two half-backs, Dean and Parker. A lobbed pass over the top, and Bentley, he has a stroll in. McKenna, no chance of stopping him. Schuster then with the kick, round the corner style, right out on this near side touchline. No, strikes it hard, but right across the face of the post. So, both Schuster and Mattison struggling with the kicks. 14-6 for the Broncos.
Yes, good interchange of passing. The halfbacks, they've got to get in this game to give Halifax any chance of victory here. And from a standing start, Bentley just picks the pace up, left fend with his left arm, and in at the corner.
Encouragement there for the Halifax fans.
Encouragement too for the Halifax team. They took a leaf out of the London Broncos, but then a quick break by Paul Rowley, the hooker, very speedy for his size, set off downfield and then into passing. Some good movement and the ball out wide, and eventually a try for Halifax.
And just moments ago, a fairly relevant conversation on the touchline. Steve Sims, the Halifax coach, was just shouting some instructions onto the pitch after that try. Carl Harrison, the forward, turned to him and said, well, we haven't had the ball, mate. And that just about sums it up.
It certainly does. Offside for the Broncos. Mr. Morris playing advantage this season. Referees in rugby league have been allowing play to continue, allowing the movement to form. If it gets nowhere, then blowing up for the offside decision. Good decision there from Mr. Morris. Gary Grenke perched high here in the Stoop Memorial Ground. The Broncos coach, he'll be happy with this result, but I think he'll be mindful that they were leading 10 points to nil last Sunday against Warrington in the championship and still went down. And it's Halifax doing all the attacking now. Nice little chip kick. Just rolls dead. John Bentley, I think, just questioning the in-goal lines there. Of course, one of the lines further on is marked out for the rugby union.
Yeah, John Bentley, if he ran that far, then he wanted something out of it. The ball back or try anything. He was asking for anything he could get there.
Broncos then in possession. Russell Borden driving in. Suddenly the Broncos lost a little of that early momentum. Halifax beginning to get their act together. The pack moving up quickly. This time Michael Jackson. Ray. Mattison leading from the front. That was a good drive by Mattison. Nice switch to Denver. Oh, good kick. A good kick. Well judged. Just out of Omanga's range. And Darryl Pitts coming on for Evan Cochrane. Cochrane obviously not recovered from that knock behind the line in the early minutes.
Yeah, this was a good kick from Devener. Again, good running from Broncos, and the Halifax defence still not right in order because the Broncos are making far too many yards.
And Evan Cochrane, the Broncos number 5, has gone straight off into the treatment room. He's in a fairly bad way. He's taken a knee in the kidney, and at this moment he can barely walk. It's very, very unlikely that he'll be returning to this game.
Halifax possession. Broncos needing to tackle in midfield here as Halifax use the forwards. John Fieldhouse, Jackson on the 5th tackle now. Surely Park will be looking for a long one to the corners. There it is. Sends Paul Huff right behind the line, but a little bit too long. Just rolls dead. The in-goal judge there, Steve Ganson, signalling that the ball had gone dead. So, tap on the 20-metre line. Mr. Ganson, a new referee this season. Ray, good dummy there from Atina, but having a good game, the hooker, Joe.
It's not only a link man, but he's also taking the Halifax defence on. Any chance he sees of a half gap, then he's using his skill and his speed just to break that defensive line down.
And yet suddenly, Terry, the Broncos seemed to be slowing the game down and using the forwards more.
That's right, and the play's become a little bit erratic, as we've just seen, and to be honest, they look a little bit fatigued at this stage of the game, some 30 minutes into the game, and this cup tie is far from over.
Darren Shaw with a good driving run there. Back to Denver. A kick straight to Omanga. John Bentley coming in midfield to help out the forwards. One or two of the Halifax forwards getting back rather slowly there. Paul Moriarty. The big Welshman. John Fieldhouse. Cal Harrison having to bend for that ball. Dean to Schuster. Paul Rowley making good ground there before the kick. That was good play from the Atin half-back position, putting the pressure on Paul Hoff, and then following the tackle. Good play from the youngster there, number 9, Paul Rowley, former Great Britain under-21s player. But risky pass, but picked up by Shaw. And both sides now seem locked. The tackling has improved tremendously, Joe.
Yeah, but I think it's got to be pointed out that the Broncos had the start there because Halifax seemed a little bit unsure on the unorthodox tactics that the London Broncos were using. They're not used to seeing Australian sides or teams with a lot of Australian players in them throwing the ball about, taking chances, as the London Broncos are today, and I think it just caught them off guard a little bit.
Penalty against John Fieldhouse. Well, John Fieldhouse making a last-minute plea to referee Colin Morris, but and he's mourning and arguing to himself, but I don't think Mr. Morris will be bothered.
Yeah, Fieldhouse felt a little bit aggrieved at that point because he felt that Matheson had misplaced to play the ball and not done it correctly, therefore he could go for the ball.
It's always a very difficult area, Terry, isn't it? You know, you see players penalised sometimes for going for the ball. You know, I don't think people realise that you have to put the ball down in front of you, and both players can strike for the ball.
Well, the ball is back in play at that point, effectively, and as you say, both players can go for it, and it's a fine line sometimes.
Oh, and Matheson going through. Oh, the slip pass, just couldn't quite hold it there. A knock on. Mr. Morris looking for support from his touch judge over there, Mr. Davis. Halifax head and ball. And really, London Broncos possibly putting in one pass too many. It was only the third tackle. They were in a very good position, but just look at this. He just can't take it. Probably have been better for Matheson to have held the ball there, set up the attack. Darryl Pitt, number 15, the substitute, helping out with the tackle there. Halifax coming away then with the ball. Michael Jackson. Omanga to Bentley, but well held in midfield by Borden. And another knock on. Some scrappy play here in the middle. One or two of these players losing the ball, but Halifax looking to make a substitution for Wayne Jackson coming on.
Here we saw John Bentley just trying to force that pass, and they've done that a couple of occasions in the last few minutes, and coach Steve Sims will be dismayed with that, I'm sure.
Wayne Jackson for John Fieldhouse. One experienced forward for another. Seen service with Hull Kingston Rovers. Now then, Broncos have Halifax pinned back on the line. 6 tackles to play. Borden driving in, hoping to pull in one or two of those Halifax forwards, looking to create an overlap. Out wide now, Denver puts it to Walker. Walker, he's got McKenna there. Walker again, inside to Hoff. Hoff threads his way through. He's an awkward customer, is this lad. 6'7", tall, powerful lad. Looks ungainly when he's running, but he gets through. Shaw. Again, the pass to Ikram but just a glance for support, but there was none there. But still, Broncos on the attack. Matheson, a good ball to Walker. McKenna back inside. McKenna going for the line. He's held just a metre short. Matheson, quick switch to Ray. The ball just hitting the Halifax defender's hand there. And Molney just managed to get a hand to it. Well, I think there would have been a try.
Good variety of play here again by the Broncos. The hooker Ray trying to find the winger there, but Halifax, desperate defence, just manages to foil the situation.
But it's Broncos still on the attack. Another 6 to play. Walker to Green. Good switch move there. Well held. Asaramoni there. Good defence from the Tongan. Green tries to cut round the Halifax cover, but can't get the ball away. 2 or 3 times Ikram Butt has gone for that line. He's looked for support. It hasn't been there, but this is better now. Walker again. Puts a long ball. Borden's dropped it. Surely there was a chance there. John Bentley getting a little agitated. No need for it.
Yeah, the long pass from Walker. Trying to find support, but the ball goes to ground in the scrum.
So, a chance gone begging. Mr. Morris just pausing in play. He's quite rightly, and I think quite sensibly, having a word with Bentley and McKenna. just before the next scrum. Just 5 scrums so far in the game. That's not a lot of scrums, Terry, from your day when you were hooking.
That's right, Ray. Many years ago, that of course. But yeah, the modern game has few scrums these days, and it's due to the pace of the players and the technique that they now possess.
Paul Moriarty doing a lot of good work there at first receiver, taking the ball away. And there, just look at that, 5 handling errors for the London Broncos. Despite all that possession, they've wasted quite a lot.
You've got to look at the amount of times they've forced the pass. They're trying to get the pass out of the back doors, we call it, the little in support to the player. But sometimes when you do force it, it does go to ground. The perfect example there.
If anything, Joe, a lot of Australians in this side, but it's most un-Australian to force the passes, isn't it?
That's like they usually play the mistake-free football and grind it away. And as I said earlier, I think that's what's caught Halifax early in this game. They're not used to that type of play from teams full of Australians. They're used to the power type of game, mistake-free football. And today they come up against a team that's willing to throw the ball around.
Well, this Broncos side certainly attractive, certainly adventurous.
The Broncos side, Ray, they're full of talented players, good footballers, as we used to say. The loose forward and both half-backs are combining very well.
And Paul Hoff, one of those talented players, coming in at full-back. Ikram Butt joined the Broncos this season, played for England against Wales in the European Championship last season. Dinover. Good doughy from Dinover, but he didn't get away from Wayne Jackson. Darren Shaw. The Broncos edging towards that 20-metre area. Matteson always runs direct, always goes straight. Walker on the 5th tackle. Is it worth a drop goal even at this early stage in the game? No, says Matteson. It's a high one. It's too high. It's too deep. Joe, I know we're only in the first half, but the Broncos have had 1 or 2 opportunities to put drop goals over. They're always worth it, aren't they?
Yeah, it's only 1 point. How many games have we seen won by just that single point, especially in cup games? And I think you're right, Ray, it was possibly worth a chance of the drop goal on 1 point.
Halifax then with a lot to do in this second half coming up. A lot to do. Carl Harrison. That was a good pass. Well picked up by Schuster. Armanga. Good covering there by number 11, Russell Borden for the Broncos.
For Halifax to come back in this game, Ray, Steve Sims will be looking for his half-backs to combine in this second half.
John Bentley having a go himself. Oh, John Bentley going in at the corner. That was superb play from John Bentley. Some slipshod tackling out wide from the Broncos. They allowed Michael Jackson to escape down the touchline. And Bentley, when he got the ball, as an England winger should, he had the confidence to round his man. He knew he had the pace, he knew he had the power, and here he goes.
The perfect time to attack and score points just before the half. Michael Jackson, the ball inside. Bentley feigns to go inside, then the swerve outside, takes the fullback on the outside and beats him for pace. And a great time to score a try just before the half-time interval for John Bentley in Halifax.
Yes, we spoke about the backs combining, and the great example here. Michael Jackson, speedy forward, super pass inside. Bentley comes inside, looks outside. He feels he's got the measure of Hoff, and he has. And he's in for a great try that pulled Halifax right back into this match.
And that was a good try from Bentley. Power and pace and poise there on the touchline. He was almost pushed in, but he held himself back. Schuster then with a conversion attempt on the 20-metre line. Oh, and it looks good from Schuster. It is. It's straight between the uprights. So Halifax have got over that bad patch in the opening 20 minutes. Bentley has struck twice, and Halifax are really back in this game. Just 2 points, the difference. Contrasting opening 20 minutes to the last 20 minutes. Halifax really stormed back. The Broncos possibly gone to sleep a little. Too much loose ball And Steve Sims now a little happier, I think. And thanks to that man, John Bentley. Into stoppage time. Referee Colin Morris stopped the clock a couple of times to talk to some players, but a very, very good first half. Nothing between the two sides. London roaring into it as London prepare to kick off. Both sides with a win in the championship. Halifax won 50-12 back in August, and the Broncos 38-27 a couple of weeks ago. But Joe, I wouldn't like to forecast today's result.
No, you could go anywhere. There's very evenly balanced with only 2 points in it at half-time. Both teams again willing in the second half to throw the ball around and try and score some more points, and it's a very hard call to decide the winner at this early stage.
Steve Sims, the Halifax coach. Steve, it's there for the taking, but you need a lot more application than the first half, don't you?
Yeah, we had a poor first 20 minutes there, but we were able to regroup. The lads never panicked, which is a big thing, and now we've just got another 40 minutes to redeem ourselves.
John Bentley, a bit of a hero, really.
Yeah, he's a great player. I mean, they're the players that win your games. When you're down and out, that they can run 40, 50 metres and score tries, and hopefully he'll be able to do it for us again this half.
Thanks, Steve.
I think the key words there, never panicked, Terry.
That's right, they kept the composure. They were 14-0 down at one point, but they clawed their way back into the game, and really they've got a splendid chance if they can tackle well in the second half to secure the victory.
But 40 minutes to go. Broncos in possession. Good strong driving run there from Mestrov. And Ray looking to make ground from the acting half-back position. And Broncos really want a good kick here to get right down on that Halifax line. Mestrov using the grubber kick, and very successfully. Good kick there from the prop forward, former South Sydney. Keeps the pressure on Halifax.
A good kick from Mestrov here. Not often you see a prop forward kicking with such good quality. Maybe a lot more in today's game.
But he timed it well, he picked his spot. And again, a penalty against the Broncos. Craig Green using a knee in the tackle, or should we say after the tackle.
Yeah, we see the Halifax centre just tackle here, and just a little knees there from Green, and a penalty for Halifax.
Well, there's absolutely no need for it, Joe, is there? I mean, it's just senseless. Just look at the penalties conceded, 10, and very few of those really should have taken place.
Another one now too. All it does is just relieve the pressure off your opposition. They had Halifax pinned down again here. There's 3 men in the tackle, just holding down that little bit too long, and the referee has no choice but to give a penalty to Halifax.
And there we see 2 kicks downfield from the visitors. Takes them 60 metres upfield. Wayne Jackson. Halifax then looking to snatch the lead for the first time in this match, but that was a forward pass. Carl Harrison not timing his run, not, well, obviously giving a penalty there as a deliberate forward pass.
I think it's actually for dissent after Carl Harrison saw the result of the referee was a scrum, and then he shook his head, and I don't know if he said anything, but the referee decided to give a penalty to the London Broncos.
But normally for dissent, Joe, he would take them back another 10 metres, wouldn't he? Anyway, it's a penalty nevertheless. It's Tony Ray and the Broncos on the attack again. The forwards taking it up to Halifax. Tony Mestrov. Darren Shaw. The Broncos for the past 20-25 minutes been using these forwards more rather than pushing it out wide to the wings as they did in those early minutes. Good defence there from Halifax out wide. Peter Gill. It's a high one, it's not got an awful lot of direction. Well, it was picked up, play on, says the referee. The ball was knocked out of Peter Gill's grasp. When Jackson picked it up, it's 6 tackles for Halifax. No way through for Michael Jackson. Again, holding down. It was a good tackle, and again the Broncos incurring the wrath of Mr. Morris. Here we see superb tackle there, and then coming in and just holding down for that split second, Peter Gill, the man who gives the penalty away. Well, the players really should have got the message from this referee by now.
It is a very fine line, though, in that tackle, to hold in and just give your teammates time to get back and reform the defensive line. A split second either way, and it could be a penalty. So it's very, very fine line.
Carl Harrison, the pack leader, leading from the front, driving in at first receiver there. Wayne Parker. Dean. Well, Craig Dean looking to slip the pass inside him. Parker to Moriarty.
Right, leave him, let go. Well done.
Rowley coming away from the acting half-back. This is what people become accustomed to at Hall, watching that lad. Paul Rowley goes away a lot from the acting half-back position. Well read by Tony Ray. Back to Hoff.
It was interesting, Ray. We observed in the first half how the link between half-backs wasn't functioning quite correctly for Halifax, and we haven't seen them even this half get that quite right just yet.
Hold it.
Did well to get the ball out there. Darryl Pitts. That's better from the Broncos. Good round of applause from the Broncos fans in the main stand here at the Stoop. Terry Matheson puts it back inside to Ray. Ray backing up all the time is this hooker. Never very far away from Matheson. Did well. Walker. Still the Broncos keep that ball moving. This is better from the Broncos. This is their style of play. Paul Huff, superb sidestep. Huff going for the line himself. Excellent tackle from Umanga on the last tackle. Broncos, Walker running it. Oh, well picked up. Well picked up there by Parker. I really do think the kick would have been better out towards the corner for his wingman.
Even a kick or moving the ball through the pair of hands, because they had a definite overlap and there was a real chance on the far side for the Broncos.
Wayne Parker did well to pick it up, and it's John Bentley coming away again. Gets his pass away there to Ilangi. John Bentley in the action all the time. Again, opening out play on that far side with Schuster. Schuster can't just get away. Well held there by Pitt.
Well washed and dressed. That looked like a fairly painful injury, Evan.
Yeah, I just cropped a knee in the back. Hopefully it won't be too serious.
The game's gone a bit sour in Broncos' favour since you came off.
Yeah, I don't know whether I've got anything to do with that, but hopefully they'll pick it up and go on to win it.
Thanks, mate.
Ikram Butt coming back again. Strong, chunky wingman. Doing good work there from first receiver and keen to get the ball into play. Ray again, having a good game there around the play the balls. Meshcroft and Matheson and this man Gill leading the charges. Yennever. Shaw. Out to Walker. Well, and again the Broncos lose the ball. Joe, as you said earlier, they're always looking to push one past too many, aren't they? It's adventurous play, but it's costing them heavily.
It must be very frustrating to Walker. He looks back inside, and I think at that point he decided not to throw the pass, but he's been swung around in the tackle and had no choice but to let go of the ball. Very frustrating for coaches to watch.
There we can see 7 handling errors, Terry.
Yeah, that's been the Broncos' enterprising play. They've been forcing those passes, and be interesting to see if they do tire like they did in the first half.
Halifax, Michael Jackson racing away. He's got plenty of pace in the second row, but a good tackle from Paul Hoff. But Halifax, I sense, gaining in confidence. Harrison puts the pass behind him, back to Rowley. Well read by McKenna. And sensibly he holds on to the ball there. Allows the Londoners to get back. Hoff. Still just those 2 points between the two sides. Broncos 14, Halifax 12. Well, one or two of the Broncos fans were wondering whether Michael Jackson was offside there. Tuilangi, good handoff, can't get away on the outside. Craig Green comes back for more, good tackle. Amoni to Omanga. Tremendous Pacific Island flavour in these Halifax backs. Amoni again. Had a spell with the Australian country club, the Blaney Bears. Gillespie to Moriarty. Back to Omanga. Halifax edging nearer to that Broncos line. Good ball there from Parker. To Dean. Schuster. He's got Bentley there. Bentley cuts inside. Jackson again. Michael Jackson running very, very strongly now, Joe.
Had a much more lively start of the second half, Jackson. In fact, all the Halifax forwards are now running with more purpose onto the ball and causing problems for the Broncos.
Oh, that's a good ball to Amoni. Does well to get it out to Tuilangi. Oh, yes, I mentioned the Pacific Island flair. And Tuilangi is in at the corner. Good combination between the two. Amoni from Tonga, Tuilangi from Western Samoa. His second try of the season. Good play.
This was great play from Halifax. Parker goes across the field, couple of dummy runners, and it's the centre and winger combining together, and Tuilangi goes in, and it's in the bag.
And I think here, Joe, we should look at the strength of this centre, Amoni.
That's right, it's the pass as well too from Parker that finds him and just had enough room to cause some problems. The wingers undecided where to come in, Ikram, but when he does come in, the pass over the top, and Tuilangi goes in at the corner.
And all credit to Tuilangi there. He ducked down, he dived down, and he was in. Schuster then, the Western Samoan captain, with the kick. A difficult one, right out on the touchline. John Schuster. Again, not finding the target, just kicking that ball to the left of the post. So Halifax now in the lead for the first time this afternoon, 16-14, and that 14-0 lead of the Broncos has gone.
Splendid play from Halifax. Parker dummying inside, 8-11 dummy runners, taking defenders away, picking up the centre, Amon. Now this fella does the real business here. He goes into the tackle, steps off the left, and gets his hands free with a splendid pass over the top. And Tuilangi, he has it all to score to beat Hoff, but he does.
Halifax then looking now to consolidate upon that lead. Paul Moriarty done a lot of the hard graft up front, relishing the close combat. Moriarty and Rowley coming more and more into the game now, putting pressure on the Broncos from the acting half-back position. Carl Harrison, good, strong, charging run. One can sense the confidence coming through this Halifax side. Well picked up by McKenna. Denver to Ikram Butts. And an interesting substitution there, Kevin Langer coming on for Russell Borden. A half-back for a forward, Joe. Do you sense that the Broncos coach, Gary Grenke, wants to shake up the midfield? He's got to get this ball moving, hasn't he?
Maybe shake up's the wrong word. I think he wants to get the ball wider. They've tried the intricate passes within the forwards, and now they think they're looking to link it and get the ball wider to the back line.
Certainly the Halifax defence in the middle been quite sound.
The Halifax defence bench in something of a dilemma over the substitution, because they're keeping a close eye on Paul Moriarty, the number 11, who's not played since the World Cup. He had a floating bone removed from his leg. They're watching him on a 5-minute basis, and young Heighton is being kept warmed up in case they need to get him on to cover for Moriarty.
Broncos looking to get that lead back, and again a misunderstanding. Kevin Langer, the number 14, was waiting for the ball. Sadly, his teammate Darryl Pitt went in front of him. Another mistake. Knock on. Head and ball at the scrum to Halifax. And a penalty there. Again, not a decision we don't see very often. Only 5 forwards. The loose forward must pack in the scrum, Terry, mustn't he? Matteson didn't. That's a penalty against him.
That's right, and this second half the Broncos have littered their game with numerous technical offences at the play of the ball at the scrum, as we just saw, and that's given Halifax the platform to build on.
Rowley coming away then again. To Parker. Well, half-backs are hardly advised to run at first receiver into forwards. Rowley, this is better. Oh, good slip pass again. Amoni coming down on this near side, and it's Halifax who are really calling the tune now. Gillespie, just 5 metres short. On that 5th tackle, Paul Moriarty diving for the line himself. He's a big 17-stone lad. Just can't quite make it. It's the 6th tackle, and it'll be a handover. I think Gary Grenke there on the left, the Broncos coach, will certainly have more to worry about at the moment. A 14-0 lead squandered.
I don't know if it's Steve Sims' words of wisdom at half-time, but Halifax have definitely started this second half with much more vigour and determination, making much more yardage and obviously taking the lead as well. So we'll have to put it down to the coach at this moment.
But just look at the difference in the second half at that territorial advantage there. 65%, Terry, in Halifax's favour.
Yes, they've really tidied their act up, and a ratio of 2 to 1 have been strong in all departments and are looking very strong for this game, winning this cup tie. Here we see the Broncos coming up with yet another mistake. Strong defence from Amon, and it was Green on this occasion who spilled the ball.
And youngster Paul Heighton, a former amateur player in the Oldham district with Waterhead Amateur Club, coming on for Paul Moriarty. As Richard Duckingfield said, the Halifax bench have been keeping a close eye on Paul Moriarty, obviously not too happy. And this, I think, well worth the shot. John Schuster kicked many goals like this, Joe. At this situation, 16-14, another 2 points. It's a big difference, isn't it?
It is well worth the shot too from John Schuster. Excellent kicker. Distance certainly won't be a problem here. He has a little difficulty this afternoon with his accuracy, but as I said, I don't think the distance will be a trouble. And if he does stop the 2 points, it just edges Halifax that further away from the London Broncos.
It's about 37 metres out, 15 metres in from this near side touchline. No elements to contend with. John Schuster looking to add another 2 points to that score, and he does. Good kick from Schuster. Those Halifax fans who've travelled a couple of 100 miles down here, at last something to shout about, something to smile about.
Well struck by Schuster here. He's learned from his mistakes earlier. A couple of kicks have been a little wayward, this time straight between the middle of the uprights. 2 points.
But 4 points difference, not a lot when you approach the last 20 minutes of a Regal Trophy round. Still Broncos very, very much in this game. But Schuster now, with those kicks like that, taking Halifax away. Oh, a tremendous run there from Tuilangi. He gets the ball away. Tuamanga, what an influence these Western Samoan backs are having on this match, Terry.
They certainly have. I think it all stems from Halifax controlling their possession, and these guys have come in field and created havoc at every opportunity.
Wayne Jackson not able to hang on to the ball here. Not the best of passes, in fairness to Jackson. Over the back of his neck. 20 minutes remaining then. Can London Broncos haul themselves back into this game? Trailing 18-14.
They certainly have the ability to hold them back themselves into the game. It's just a case now where the Halifax can resist their attacks and really sharpen up the defence.
That buzz that they had in midfield when Walker and Dinover opened up in the first 20 minutes, that's suddenly gone, Terry.
It has. Mattison was prominent in those early stages, and he really needs to get himself back in the game because he is a key player to this London Broncos attack.
Kevin Langer, Peter Gill. Well, it was a good job. Kevin Langer's only about 5'5". That ball was round his ankles. The Broncos now looking to widen the game with Walker. Oh, it's an awkward bounce for the Manga. Tackled behind the line. No, he's just got away, just got over him. And that's a good run from Jackson. Did well to come back there, Michael Jackson. Took a lot of the pressure off Halifax.
Usually look to wingers to come back and help the full-back there. This time it was a second row in Michael Jackson who came back, got to act in half-back position and scooted away and took a lot of pressure off his Halifax forwards there.
Al Harrison always made 8 or 10 metres every time he's driven with that ball. Wayne Pack. Well picked up by Paul Hoff. Not had a lot to do this half. This big, tall Aussie fullback, Paul Hoff.
It was important that Halifax had a good chase on that kick, and they've regrouped the defence and looking rather solid.
Broncos desperately trying to open up this Halifax defence, but it's very tight in midfield. There doesn't seem any way through. Halifax are bunching the defence, Joe, aren't they? They're really contracting there.
Yeah, they're forcing the London Broncos to look to the wider passes to try and beat them on the outside of the Halifax defence, and at the moment that's not working.
But the Broncos still on the attack. Mattison inside to Gill. Gill looked for that gap, finds Tony Ray. Ray to Dinover. On the 5th tackle. And that's a penalty. Again, interfering at the play of the ball. Now then, interesting decision here for Terry Mattison. What does he do? Well, it is. Well, I think he's made a mistake. We've got almost 20 minutes to play. He's got to pick a try up here. Here's him with a chance. And he does. Number 8, Tony Mestrop. Why did I say he'd made a mistake, Joe? He read the game better than me.
Commentator's nightmare. Mattison's choice it was to go for goal or to run the ball. They decided to tap it and attack the Halifax line.
And that brings it all level. Well, I'll never criticise Terry Mattison again for not going at goal. Here we see he gives that short pass out. It's that big, powerful prop, Tony Mestrop, straight through 2 tackles. And he scores. Good effort. A strong effort, Terry.
Yeah, Mattison did well. Quick decision and brought this fella in, Mestrov, and he's very determined here. He's powering at the Halifax centres. Bentley, Schuster there, but Mestrov, he was determined to score, and he does.
Well, a difficult kick for Mattison. but one that the Broncos skipper will certainly want to put over. All square. Just out wide, unlucky there, but those flags indicate no goal. So everything to play for here now. The two sides, London 18, Halifax 18, and the Broncos prove, Joe, that they're not down and out.
Not by a long way. The decision, if it had gone against London Broncos there, and they'd have took the kick and missed it. Instead, Matheson decides to take the tap and run at the Halifax defence, and a try for Mestrov certainly brings them back into the game.
The referee, Colin Morris, just stopping the clock whilst Gillespie goes off. Paul Moriarty comes on for the blood bin. So Paul Moriarty thought he'd earned a welcome rest, but he hasn't. Halifax trying to staunch that blood around the nose there for young Gillespie. Oh, and a storming run there from Peter Gill. Well, that try seems to have put some life into the Broncos. And dare I mention those drop goal attempts that were neglected in the first half, Joe.
Exactly right. 1 point, we mentioned it. I mean, it's only at 1 point. You think early on in the game we might not need that, we could win easy. But when it comes down to it, 18-all with what, 10 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go, 1 point to see into the next round.
Peter Gill. Back to Kevin Langer. Langer scuttling his way through there. The elder brother of Alfie Langer, the Brisbane Broncos, an Australian scrum half. A difficult bounce, but Tuilangi did well to hold it. And Amoni. The Broncos will want to hold Halifax down here. They'll want to absorb these 6 tackles. Mr. Morris making sure that the Londoners are the full 10 metres back, and Harrison trying to take advantage of that. Another strong run from the Halifax and England prop. Back to Parker. That's a good kick. Ikram Butt has to go back a long way. Oh, and a risky pass to Paul Hoff. Good cover by Halifax. 3 or 4 men up there chasing that kick. Puts the Broncos back in their own 20-metre area. McKenna. Both sides have got to hold the ball now, Terry, haven't they? They can't afford any knock-ons.
Yes, everything's history as far as this game is concerned. It's all down to the last 13 minutes or so, and the side which has got the most composure and is more determined will win this one.
Langer to Gill. Gill did well to get the ball away there, as did Mestrov. Back to Dinner, but he's got some space down the middle. Oh, he cut back inside, straight into the arms of Michael Jackson there. But it's the Broncos now moving that ball out wider. Walker, well, he thought about pushing the ball out, and then thought again. Nice slip pass from Mestrov. Back to Langer. Langer hanging around here behind the forwards, picking up these passes. Ray, out wide to McKenna. Well picked up by Halifax. John Schuster. And Bentley coming in to help out.
Halifax seem to be more composed when within the set of 6 tackles that they have, either Paul Rowley scoots back to half-back or they bring John Bentley in to help out. They seem to be more organised and make far more yardage with those 2 players when they're involved.
They play more direct rugby, Joe, aren't they?
Well, whatever rugby both sides are playing, it's still 18 apiece. Less than 12 minutes remaining. Parker. Ikram Butt judges the bounce. Does well to get away from the 2 Pacific Islanders there, Tuilangi and Amoni. To Hoff. Langer coming more and more. Oh, he loses the ball.
I think, Ray, that both these sides have got numerous match winners, and it's which one of those match winners is going to come up and do the business.
Paul Hoff did well to pick that ball up there. It was a tricky bounce. It was in the corner. A mistake could have proved costly. McKenna trying to get away from that Broncos line. Tony Ray having a breather. And Russell Borden, the big, strong running second row going on. Well, perhaps at this stage we've got Kevin Langer on. Perhaps Borden might be able to make a break in midfield, Joe.
Yeah, fresh pair of legs, a bit of spark from Langer, inspiration, and then the bigger man through the gap, who knows.
Just 10 minutes remaining, the Broncos on the attack. Ben Walker going for the line. Oh, he can't just get there. Tremendous tackle there by Amoni. He just grabbed his collar, but it's the Broncos on the attack. 2 long passes to Matheson in midfield, puts it back. Peter Gill just has to hold that ball. Now then, surely, no, I thought he was going to have an attempted drop. The high kick. Well tackled, well caught. No problems with that kick there from Michael Umanga.
Splendid take there by Umanga. We all thought Mestrov, who'd displayed his kicking skills early in the game, may have just tried for the 1-pointer, but up went the bomb, and well played Umanga.
And it's Halifax's turn now to try to get to the other end of the pitch. Wayne Jackson driving away there. 9 minutes remaining. Wayne Parker thinks that the easiest route to the other end is via the boot. And he proves right. The scrum now deep in the Broncos' 20-metre area. It'll be head and ball to the London Broncos.
I think Wayne Parker was right here. Puts the ball to boot, sends it downfield, and now they'll play the defensive game of the Broncos, trying to force the error and hopefully gain some points that way.
Some tired players out there. One of them can seal this game. One of them can snatch the glory. Referee Colin Morris having a spot of trouble with the two hookers. Of course, Tony Ray for the Broncos has gone off. The hook, the ball not coming out satisfactorily. The scrum wheel, and he wants a restart. And a penalty to the Broncos. A judging that Paul Rowley, the Halifax hooker, was not putting his head in the right place in the front row. So 10-15 metres gained by the Broncos. Less than 8 minutes remaining. 18 points apiece.
Tony Ray back on the bench for the Broncos. Tony, apart from a bit of indiscipline and some penalties, you might have had this game wrapped up by now.
Yeah, if we tidied it up, we let them back into the game, didn't we, just after half-time, and they came up with a couple of tries.
It's going to be tactically close now, isn't it?
It is going to be close. I think we just whoever controls the ball in this last stance is going to come away with it. Might only be a field goal in it with such little time to go.
Thanks, Tony.
Langer to Shaw. The Broncos driving towards those posts now. Denver to Hoff. Hoff cuts inside. Oh, we could have done with some support out wide there. The fifth tackle. An attempted drop. No, was it? Well, I think it was an attempted drop, but not the best of attempts, Terry, from Walker.
No, that's right. He's had an impressive game as Walker, but on this occasion his kicking just let him down because it went well wide of the post.
Russell Borden just having some attention at the side of the pitch. Good run there by Paul Heighton. Harrison again. Oh, good play by the Halifax pack. Paul Rowley, the man of the match, I think, for his work around the play the balls. And it's Halifax coming back now here with a vengeance. John Schuster.
I think he'll take it one more. Riley will send his forwards up the middle of the field and then maybe to Schuster for that 1 point drop goal.
He does. There is Wayne Jackson. Now then, we're on the 5th tackle. Paul Rowley setting himself up for the drop goal. He's got Wayne Parker there. Parker couldn't put the drop goal in. That was good pressure by the Broncos. Parker was looking for the drop goal, but good attempted tackle by Peter Gale. Stopped him. And Halifax looking to try to... he's gone there with a nasty knock into the hoardings as Walker.
Here we see Halifax strong defence pushing the Broncos into touch, and this could be very significant because it'll be Halifax head and feed, 5 drives, one suggests to the post, and then the drop goal perhaps.
A chance for Halifax. Five metres now from the Broncos line, looking for the one try that would seal it. Michael Jackson driving in, just held up there by Walker. Rowley, an acting half-back, puts it back. Good pass to Parker. He's got space out wide. John Schuster's going for the line. Oh, Halifax moving out wide. Good driving down the middle. Sucked in the cover from the London Broncos. When they pushed it out wide, the space was there, Schuster was there, and surely that's a try that will take Halifax into the next round. Still time to go, but the Broncos with an awful lot to do now. 22 points to 18 for Halifax. Just 4 minutes remaining. Well, Steve Sims, my commentator colleague, looks glum, but I don't think he will be if this proves the match winner. Good passing. Parker sensed that there was a gap out there, and all Schuster had to do was put his head back and go for the corner.
Exactly right. It was John Schuster that had spotted it. He'd run from one side of the field, having been set for the drop goal, to the other one. Parker found him on the link, and Schuster uses his speed to get in the corner. Good play from John Schuster, and a try that should win this match.
Yeah, we spoke about the prominence of a match winner, and Schuster's done it for Halifax. Good play, organising his team, and he just took on 3 or 4 man overlap, and he just, no mistakes. Great try for Schuster.
And with just 3 minutes remaining of normal time, this kick then becomes a very, very important one. This kick, the extra 2 points, would mean that the Broncos would have to score twice. He'll take his time over this, will Schuster. Record point scorer for Halifax, 32 points in one match last season against Doncaster. The crowd quiet. Oh, and it's not too far off, but still not a goal. So just the 4 points difference, less than 3 minutes remaining. Can London Broncos still snatch this Regal Trophy tie? If they are to do that, they've got to get up to the other end of the field very, very quickly. With a long kick like that. 2 minutes remaining. We did have a stoppage, possibly for 45, 60 seconds, when Colin Morris stopped the clock for the blood bin. So possibly a little stoppage time as well. But Halifax, they'll hold on to this ball. They'll play the ball at the first receiver. They'll bring the ball away. They know that the seconds there are ticking away. Harrison. To Ilengi. On the 5th tackle. Now then, Parker will put it as long and as far downfield as he can. Picked up by Hoff. And a good tackle by Amoni. But 60 seconds of normal time remaining. Possibly a little extra time to add on. Broncos desperate to haul those 4 points back.